Welcome to Modular Hippo and episode 24 of the components playlist. In this episode I am looking at pushing the 12 volt DC switch and fuse box forward, as well as the battery box for the Seplos Mason 280 battery. So let's take a look. With the bus bars and the Dean rails bolted on, it now looks like this and like that. So now we have space for all the ins and outs, as well as the fuses, the trip switches. So let's see how this fits in the box itself. If my calculations are right, I should be able to slide it in like this, like that. So now we got that extra space on the side here due to this printed H. So that's a good start. So with the rails mounted, I should be able to attach these fuses, and I think we can start with the charger from the inverter. So that should hook on here. Or you know what? Let's put that in the middle. Let's put that last. Put it there, and then we have 48 volt charger. Put that here, and then we can put this one from the MPPT here. So they're all 40 amp double pole trip switches. So I will then have 3 glands coming in here. So that can be a good next step. But that's quite happy with that. The idea is that this will be the main isolation switch for the outlet that goes to the fuse and switch panel that will be sitting at the nav table. And now I also want another 4 isolation switches, one for each of the charging inputs and one for the battery as well. The reason for making this plateau is 2 reasons. One is that I wanted to make an obvious statement that 2 of the isolation switches belong to the same cables, and the other one is also I made it 5mm high so that the isolation switches sits a bit higher, which means that I don't have so much protruding at the bottom where the cables are, because I don't want them to catch the actual fuses, the trip switches that is inside the box. So the idea is I want to put them 1 in each corner. So I'm going to mark these up, and then I am going to attach them to see how it looks. Something like this should do the trick. I just need to find the center of this now, so I drill in the right place. First one in place. It is a bit time consuming. I'm using a deboring tool to make the hole bigger, because drilling is just hopeless. I realized that these holes are a little bit too close to this one, so I'm gonna have to move them down a little bit, and I believe that this little opening there will be covered by the actual ring itself, so I think it should be okay. We'll find out. 2 now in place, or 4. It looks like that. The problem is that I now need another 4 of these, so I've put an order in, and these ones will probably have to be mounted with an angle, something like this. What I can do is just fill that hole up, and then it will be something like that. I also need to find space for the little green LED lights that shows if the power is live, and yeah. And we have number 3 in place. I am short on the isolation switches, so it will have to look like this for now. And the last one I want to put here, because that's literally the only place where I have space left. And these holes I will fill with epoxy, and then there will be a lovely little sticker on top of here, so you won't be able to see those holes. With the fourth switch now on, it looks like this, and I now need to wait for the actual 10mm2 cable that I'm going to use, as well as all the cable lugs. So I put a little bit of epoxy in here so that is flat, to make sure that when I put a sticker on there you can't see a little lump. So I'm going to leave this for now until I get more of the components, and then we can push forward. So a quick question. This one is the trip switch that I wanted to use for the 12-volt battery, 125 amp. It says on the website now when I looked that it is a polarized trip switch, which means that it only takes current from one direction. AI, when I looked it up, said it was non-polarized. So I have sent the question to Henshin themselves to see if they can clarify. There's also another thing. When you put a fuse onto a battery, it should really be as close to the battery as you can. So the question is, should I maybe take this out and put the fuse on the battery instead and not in this box? Any ideas around that or any recommendations, then please let me know and I'll take this into account. Thank you. What I've done here is just made a little foot for the aluminium to rest on. The foot is equally height as of the legs of the box itself, so that the aluminium sheet comes down to here and comes over here. So if there's any moisture or anything on the bottom, then it should be far away from the bottom. I might put a little bit of epoxy and glue these in place just to make sure that they're not going anywhere. I have received part of the 3mm plastic that I'm going to use to shield the aluminium back wall with. So this is a cheap PVC plastic 3mm sheet. So let's open it, see what it is. Just what I needed. So this piece will be cut in half to make two rectangles and one for each of the battery boxes. So I will cut it to length and see if it slides in to the position where it should sit. With the back plate now cut into shape, I should be able to slide it in the back slot. All the way down. And we have a splash plate, a back protection to make sure that there is no connection between anything electrical here and the actual aluminium box. So I'm happy with that. So now I just need to pick up the laser cut aluminium part that will sit in the front, that I can start screwing all my different components to. Morning. Early morning run to go and get the 3mm aluminium plate that I'm going to use in the battery box to screw all the components to. Moment of truth. I have picked up the 5083 aluminium sheet and let's see if it fits. So it's 1mm out there, but I could put a little bit of tape or something there, I think. Slide it down. And so there we go. That is designed to go flush, and that is designed to go up to lid level. So I think we have something to screw our components to. As always, thank you for watching this episode. If you haven't subscribed, you want to see more, feel free to press that button. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, stick them in the comments and I will respond within 24 hours. If you want to see a little bit about the boat build itself, there's a separate playlist for that, as well as a separate playlist for the electrical motor that I'm building. So until next time, have a great week and I'll see you soon.